when the English begin to hate, I've been warning about this for a long time. People don't take it seriously, of course. Why would you not? But I think what we're starting to see with the Battle of Epping, the Bell Hotel in Essex, fine British upstanding people coming out and saying we've had enough. Yeah, we've had enough because we're not willing to allow you to import people who are going to abuse our children. Yeah, we're not willing to do that. You're about to see what English people, Welsh people, Scottish people and Irish people actually look like. You're about to see something fundamentally different. I get so many people from overseas writing to me going, Tim, the world is supporting the English. The reason I say the English right now, I know the Irish are dealing with this well, and we can see it, okay? I know there's been some riots in Spain as well, and some other countries are feeling the force on this. The English, this is England. A lot of people writing to me, what language are they using? English. But they're from all over the world, but they're using English. Everyone has a connection to England, and they all know that, and they're supporting us because we're going to fall first. And a lot of people out there are asleep, mate. I'm not even joking you. A lot of people I speak to, especially guys in the military, going, what's that, Tim? You're a racist, mate. Yeah, you're a racist. Yeah? You just hate immigrants. You can call me racist if you want. It doesn't matter. You can call me far right as well. I'll take that banner. I'll be far right. I'll be a far right racist. How's that sound? The problem with people in the military, where I came from, is you're living in a cloud, mate. You're living in remote bases. You're not affected by this stuff at the moment. You just don't see it. Whereas we do see it. Where I live, we see it. We see a lot of it. The people in Essex see it a lot. And that's the problem. They don't have to. They shouldn't have to put up with this. No one asked them. No one asked if they could put all those migrants in a hotel. What's it, 600 a day coming across the channel? Those are the ones we know about. Those are the illegal ones. The legal ones aren't even the problem. It's the legal ones. The ones that are coming from the legal route are overwhelmingly more than the ones that are illegal. We don't even know. These people aren't even vetted. They're not checked. It's like the Afghan scheme, isn't it? Let's come over. Really? You vetted 24,000 Afghans, did you? We only ever had about 8,500 troops in country, mate. And I was one of them, you know what I mean? I know when they were saying that we had 10,000 troops there, I was in Kabul at the time doing some maths with some other people going, we've never had 10,000 troops in the country. We've only had about 750 max. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can flex it a bit. You can make numbers, you know, you can pretend if you want. But how on earth, with that many troops, have we got 24,000 Afghans that are dependent on us that have come in? We don't know who these people are. Yes, I agree. Also, this is not about Afghanistan at all. This is about immigration. If people have helped out British forces overseas, you absolutely have to reward them with some kind of protection, especially when you lose wars like we did in Afghanistan. No point being there, mate. Taliban back in control. Brilliant. Well done. Shocking. You think people are going to go and do British wars again? You think people in the British military are going to like, yeah, if you do another one of those? No, not going to happen. The Russia drums are going up, aren't we? We're going to fight Russia. Tobias Elwood, the bloody idiot. Look, the same thing. You know, I saw another army guy, and they're going, we're going to go to Russia. No, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're going to go by yourself, mate, because we're not sending our children. You can't even protect the children at home, mate. How do I know you're going to protect them when you go to war? You can't. You can't. So this is the line in the sand. I'll tell you what's depressing me at the moment. There's a lot of YouTubers out there who are shouting a good game. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to mention any names, but I think people on my channel know the people I'm talking about. I've been on their channels before, and now they're living in bloody Spain or something. Look at Richard Tice's partner, Isabel Oakenshaw, I think she's a journalist, preaching about what the UK should do from a penthouse in Dubai. What are you doing, mate? If you're not in the UK, you don't get to speak about it. I've said this before. If you want to stand on those lines with those good Essex people, or you want to go to Tommy's March on the 13th of September, or the marches I went to in the past, then you can talk about it. Go and talk to the British people. Go and listen to the stories. Honestly, you'll realise there's a fire there. There's a real fire. People say, but you haven't got guns, Tim. Yeah, you don't understand who we are, mate. You think if the country's full of guns, if we had guns, you think people that we're fighting wouldn't have guns as well? You know, we've got wit and sarcasm, you know what I mean? And we've got tea, and that's really all we need because we're British. There's a unifying, this is what you don't understand about Great Britain. There's 4 countries in one. It's ridiculous. United Kingdom. The kingdom that is united. We don't always get on. We don't always get on, especially in sport. I'm a bit conflicted because I'm half Welsh and half English. So, you know what I mean? When there's a rugby match on, I'm like, I want both sides to win, mate. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But I've got German ancestry as well. And actually, we kind of like the French. So now you've got a whole of Europe coming together. Not just United Kingdom, you've got the whole of Europe coming together to fight what? The elites. And you know how small the elites are? You know, they rule you purely by fear. Now, sedition, we can talk about the government. We can talk about overthrowing the government. We're allowed to do that. What we can't do is incite violence. I would never do that, especially on this channel. I'm not inciting violence. That's poor. And we'll talk about how we react to British police officers in a minute, because we have to be careful. However, I'm not inciting violence, but look at the size of British policing, 170,000 people, of which you probably got 100 to 120,000 response officers. The British military, I mean, it's a shocking number, mate. It's about 150,000. I think the army's 75,000. Even that mass doesn't work out for me. 105, 130, 140,000 max in the British military. How many of those are frontline staff? Now, remember, we had an army of 130,000 when we were Afghan. We only put 10,000 in the field. So that's less than 10% of the army that were actual fight. They could fight, you know what I mean? So, or available to fight. So the British state does not have the means to control the population. It rules them by giving you a television set and giving you a really nice car on PCP that you pay out on the Never Never. We're all in debt. What's stopping us uprising right now, I'm not saying we should, is the fact we have debt. And we have debt because we have to go and have jobs to pay that debt. And if we're in a job and we're seeing, like, trying to protect kids outside the Bell Hotel down in Epping, and then our face gets put on a paper or something, and our boss sees it and says, I don't want to employ you anymore. We can't pay our mortgage off anymore, mate. So what keeps us compliant is the threat of that. That's what the government does. It leverages these kind of things. It says, as long as you're compliant, you can live within the society. Now, I'm not off grid, but I've got my own businesses. It means I can speak a bit more freely. I'm not leaving this country. I'm here. I'm English. That's the thing. Yes, I'm half Welsh and a little bit German, but you know what I mean? I was in the military for 20 years, mate. I'm not leaving. Where would you go? Here's the thing. You sit in Spain and you whinge about immigration by being an immigrant yourself. You're an immigrant and you're whinging about immigration to the UK. What are you doing? It's not right. It's not right. If we're going to talk about it from the UK. Be part of the British people that are fighting against this. Here's the thing, right? And I'll be real with you. We've got to talk about British policing. I don't want to run out of time, guys. You know how it is, all right? But look, let's be honest about it, right? Why are we bringing immigrants in? Because we can't afford to pay the pensions. We all know it. We haven't had enough kids. Personally, I'll be like, all right, it'll be a bit of a smaller, less profitable country then it's fine. But the government and the people in power want their pensions paid. The thing about the pensions, right? Old people right now haven't got a massive pension pot, that's public sector, that they're reaching into. So our pensions, when we're older, are paid for people working now. There's not enough people working now. So all the old people at the moment, okay, our senior generation, good people, you know what I mean? Their pensions are our mums and dads, their pensions are being paid for by us that are working. We're working, right? Understandable. Yeah. And then when we get older, our public sector pensions, apparently if they are ever going to get paid, it's not a great deal, but you know what I mean? It's good money. They're paid for by the people, our children, ideally, but we haven't had enough kids, so they can't pay it. We're going to be stuck. We're going to be stuck. That's why they're saying that public sector pensions may not get paid, even though you paid into them your entire life. How do we solve that? Well, you import people into the UK. And even if you pay them to be here and you give them benefits and a house, they reckon it's still going to be better to do that than they're going to work, then they're going to pay tax, therefore they're going to pay the pensions. But the maths doesn't actually work out at all. In fact, immigrants actually cost us overwhelmingly more to have here. Now, is it all immigrants? No. Is it a doctor? Is it an eye surgeon coming over from South Africa? No, it's not that guy. And if we're having eye surgeons coming over from South Africa, a Nigerian, I've got to be careful what I say it, like a teacher from Nigeria, let's pick some more, like say someone that understands like something really complicated in computers coming in from Uganda. Those kind of people that come in and they're going to earn good money, pay good taxes and give back to the country that they're in, 100%. I haven't got an issue with that. I haven't got an issue with it. Of course, absolutely. In the smaller numbers, in the David Cameron promised figures of 50,000 a year, not in the Tony Blair pushing his mass agenda through and the Conservatives letting us all down, and in 2023 having 1 million people coming in a year. You are fundamentally destabilizing a very careful cultural ecosystem of the United Kingdom. And when you do that, what happens is you marginalize the ethnic communities, which is us, the people, the British. This is what these people say this, oh, Tim, the English aren't a real race. Come and stand toe to toe with me and see how real I am. A quick advert for Ground News, who sponsor this channel, luckily, because YouTube ain't giving me no money, fam. You know what I'm talking about. All the stories you'll find on the front page here that are current. However, you can search for stuff in the bar at the top. When you click on a story then, it will show you here, look, what's left-leaning, centre, or right-leaning. It's a right-leaning story. Let's click on it. And then straight away, it gives you a summary at the top there. All the stories here, down there. You can even expand it for more articles if you want at the bottom. On the right here, it shows that there's 34 articles, there's 5 left, 14 right, and then there's 5 centre. Below it then, the bias distribution shows that this is a right-leaning article, and you can see here, Fox News, Israel, all that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Here, factuality, expand that. You can see which ones are more factually correct than others, and so you can see who owns it as well. Where are your biases in this? Click on the article if you want. You'll go straight to that website then, and at the top you can see there's a bar that drops down as well, again showing where these biases are. You can then look at left-leaning articles and right-leaning articles and not get sidetracked by the mainstream media. 40% off. Thank me later. Yeah, if you want to start talking about the English aren't the, because the dinosaurs were here before us, mate. Do you know what I mean? Should this country be for the dinosaurs? No. At some point, you've got to say, look, the English own this land. The Welsh own this land. The Scottish own this land. The Irish own their land. At some point, you've got to say that. This is England. This, where I am right now, is England. And what's happening is we're flooding it with people who do not have our own cultural values. In fact, they don't even look at children the same way as us do. I'll be fair. We can't even allow our kids to walk to school and without the threat of them being approached. I see things online where there's just girls just sat around. You know, they're doing what young girls do, listen to music and stuff. And these immigrants are coming up to them. And they're saying, oh, I like your lips. And they're saying, look, thank you, but go away, please. Oh, do you not like me? And it's this pressure. This is our daughters. This is our daughters. And the problem is, there's the state can't protect us. The state can't protect us from them. We've got to do it ourselves. Now, again, we're not threatening violence or anything like that. We're not doing it. There's nothing like that. But what we are saying is the government has lost control, and we know it's lost control. I mean, how you look at it, you think, how did you not know this was happening? Like, you're just going to import all these people, and you think everything's going to be all right. They're going to blend in this multicultural kind of global melting pot. We're all the same. We're not the same, mate. Cultures aren't the same. Oh, there's a bit of a shock for you. Cultures aren't the same. Especially when you've got someone like in the UK, where you've got the UK of 4 countries, and you know what I mean? We get on sometimes. Cultures coming in here don't understand us. We don't understand them. Now, you know, I've got an issue with Islam. It has no place in the West as far as I'm concerned. And I know there's 3.9 million Muslims in the UK, 6.5% of the population, from a census taken in 2021, mate. So how many now are there? These do not hold our values. They do not hold our values. It's a Christian nation. Why do we have to tolerate it? That's my argument. It's like, well, Tim, you know, I think you're racist against Muslims. It's not even a race, you bloody idiot, mate. They call it a religion. It's not. It's an ideology. It's a political ideology. Okay, and it's here to try and take control. And it needs people like me dead, because I'm not going to allow it to happen. And you think there's just me? I'm talking on the internet. How many people do you think are not talking on the internet, mate? Do you know how many tradesmen? Do you know how many women I meet? How many mums that come and talk to me when they see me out, and they just come up and they just tap me in the back. They go, thanks, Tim. And I'm like, mate, I stopped the other day at a station. I was picking someone up from a station quite close to here. Just stopped. Got out of the car. Literally, as I got out of the car, a bloke turned to me and went, keep it going, mate. I love your channel. And they just walked on. I was like, mate, how do you even know it's me? Like, literally, I was out of the car for like half a second. He could not have seen me for more than half a second. Do you know what I mean? Now, I love that personally. I'm doing loads of motorcycle events recently. Motorcyclists, solid people, you know, because they're kind of like in a big gang of people that are quite near to death the whole time. Come up to me. Love your channel, Tim. Really appreciate you talking out. I'm like, yeah, no worries, mate. I really appreciate it. I'm just saying what everyone else is saying. I'm saying what these people are saying. I'm not special. I'm saying exactly what, and I could talk forever about this, because we've got to get a grip on it. I say we should have no Muslims in the British government. Why do I say that? Because there's no Christians in any Muslim government. You can go to UAE. You can go to Saudi Arabia. You can go to Qatar. You tell me where the Christians are in their government. They don't exist. Why? Because they're not part of their culture. They're not responsible for it. They haven't got any skin in the game. And the problem is that immigrants, when they come over here, is they can always go home. You can't go home. I can't go home. I am home. I can't go anywhere else, mate. And so when you move to Spain or Portugal, or you go wherever you want to go and you want to lecture us about where you are, look, What are you doing? You're doing it from a position of being an immigrant yourself. You've got to stand on the soil that your ancestors stood on in order to do what is right for your country. It's the heritage you hold. Why have I got to keep saying this? What do you think this does for my channel? What do you think YouTube does to videos like this? I mean, this is why you've got an advert in the middle of it. This is why I'm saying, oh, hey guys, please take a subscription with Ground News. Actually, Ground News will really help you with your biases. Let's talk about policemen. Let's talk about policing. Very quickly, because look at the time, 40 minutes. Look, I come from a police family, all right? I don't agree with British policing at all. British policing is a mess, but do I help out the individual police officer? Absolutely I do. Why? Because they're all of us, mate. They're our brothers, they're our sisters. You know, there are fathers, there are sons, there are daughters. We've got to help out individual police officers. They recruit from the community. I lose followers because they say, Tim, you're pro police. I'm pro individual police, struggling on the street, trying to deal with idiots. But am I pro-policing? No, I'm not. You think about how the police have to, like, I mean, the police down at Epping, yeah, they marshalled that very differently than they did up at, was it Harefields or whatever, the other one up north, the Leeds one, when they all ran away. The police got their batons, shields out down at Epping, didn't they? Down in Essex, and they stood toe to toe with the good Essex British people. I mean, you're gonna realise, the British police are gonna realise how vastly outnumbered they are. It is a delicate balance, and you need to be not smashing people in the face with shields. Now, I'll tell you what, you've got to be careful. A police officer will push you back if they feel threatened. Take a distance on them. If you talk to these police officers, you're fine. They don't really want to be there either. They agree with what you're saying. Those police officers, by the way, are from Essex, and they're policing Essex people. Yes. And if you run out in front of a police truck, you're probably going to get hit by it. That's not intentional. No police officer's trying to run over people. You know what I mean? We need to work with the police. And I know it's hard because arguably, whose side are the police on? Well, the police at the moment seem to be on the side, I hate to say it, of protecting immigrants. Protecting immigrants, some immigrants, let's just say, who are abusing our children. You tell me how to work out that difficult balance, because I haven't worked it out yet. But the government realises, the government fears the people, and it needs to. If I could work it out, guys, everyone says to me, what's the answer to him? I don't bloody know, do I? Because politics isn't the answer. What you're putting into your brain has got to be good. So my videos may not be that. Someone said the other day in the comments, Tim, I love your videos, mate, but look, I'm a bit depressed about this stuff. I said, you know what I'm going to do, mate? You're absolutely right. I'm going to make more motorcycle content. I'm going to make more game flying content because I teach flying on a game. And I'm going to get away from this kind of thing for a while because it is hard. It is depressing, and we are better than this. We need to be re-engaging with things that make us excited and make us interested. And then we can lean in as better people into this fight that's coming. It's coming. But we just got to not be dragged into it. Just keep it chill. Stop smashing up police officers. That's not the way forward. Stand your ground and state proudly that you're not willing to accept this in this country. You're not willing to accept it. And we're going to get through it, all right? I really appreciate it, guys. Sorry for a long video. Tim Davies, Fast Food Performance.